Stuck between chasing the dream of home ownership or the freedom of renting, two paths, one tough decision. Which one truly delivers? On one side, buying, promising equity and security for your future. And on the other, renting, offering flexibility with fewer upfront costs. Let's skip the sales talk and dig into what really matters. Each category earns points, and by the end, you'll see exactly which option comes out ahead for 2026. The result might just surprise you. Let's get a quick lay of the land. Here, the categories we're gonna dig into today: monthly costs, location impact, flexibility and commitment, long-term wealth, maintenance and repairs, market availability, and last but definitely not least, consumer preference. We'll see how each plays out between team buying and team renting, and yeah, there's definitely a twist or two in here. First up, monthly costs. Buying a house, alright, there's this classic idea that owning is cheaper in the long run because you're building equity. But not in 2025. The average homeowner is actually paying about 38% more each month nationwide compared to renting. You're also picking up property taxes and insurance, and if your roof caves in, yep, that's you paying. Now, with renting, things are a bit more predictable. The national average is around $2,000 a month. Rent itself is pretty stable this year, and in all of the 50 largest metros in the US, it's actually the more affordable choice. But let's be real, you're not building equity and your landlord could up your rent down the line. Still, renting honestly takes this round for affordability right now. So let's talk location impact. Buying is actually cheaper in certain cities, like the Rust Belt is kind of a buyer's paradise. Think Detroit, Philly, Cleveland, places where the gap between renting and buying is pretty small. But then you get to those big, shiny tech cities like San Francisco and it's, well, brutal. In fact, buying in San Francisco costs almost twice as much as renting. Renting shines in those high-demand, expensive metros, but keep in mind, even renting can get tricky if there's limited inventory. In more affordable regions, sometimes renting isn't actually such a steal compared to owning. So this one, honestly, it really varies with your zip code. Alright, moving on, flexibility and commitment. If you buy, you get long-term stability and you can finally paint the kitchen neon green if you want, but you're locked in. Want to move for a new job? Suddenly desperate for the next adventure? Selling comes with a mountain of paperwork and oh yeah, around 6% in realtor fees. Renting, though, pack your boxes, hand in a notice, and you're off. Plus, the landlord usually takes care of the big repairs. Short-term commitment, maximum flexibility. For this category, renting is kind of the no-brainer for flexibility. Oh, and here's something cool. Did you know in 2025, renting is cheaper than buying in every one of the 50 biggest US metros? But here's the curveball. A few cities in Arizona and Florida are bucking that trend, so if you're thinking of relocating, double-check the numbers. Now, long-term wealth. Here's the big argument for buying. Every monthly payment builds your equity, and homes, historically, only go up over time. It's kinda like a forced savings account that you don't even have to think about. But it comes with market risks and hefty upfront costs. Renting, you don't tie up any capital in a down payment, so yeah, you could invest elsewhere. But at the end of the day, you're not building wealth for yourself, it's all going to your landlord, and that's kind of a bummer. For wealth building, buying is the clear winner. Let's chat maintenance and repairs. Homeowners, this one's rough. The place is all yours to upgrade and play with, but hey, the HVAC dies in July, that bill is all on you, and surprise, property taxes keep inching higher too. Renting. This is one of the perks. Most landlords handle the big-ticket repairs, so you don't really have to stress those surprise costs. Downside, you often can't tear down that weird fake fireplace in the living room. Still, for peace of mind and predictability, renting totally wins here. Market availability, so like, how easy is it to actually get a place? Buying is still manageable in some markets, especially the Rust Belt cities where inventory's not so tight. But nationwide, high prices and competition make it tough. Rentals, on the other hand, have seen big inventory increases in all major metros, so you've got plenty of choices, even if a few hotspots can still get competitive. Renting takes this round for sheer options. Consumer preference? Here's a twist, not what you might expect. Around 72% of Americans still prefer owning a home, according to surveys. It's still the dream, especially when people are thinking about moving or settling down. Renting, though, is getting more popular, especially with younger folks who either can't or just don't want to jump into the buyer's market madness. But for now, the winner in people's hearts is still buying. Let's throw all these factors on a radar chart, just to get a big picture glance at where buying and renting land across all these categories. Overall, you can really see how renting dominates when it comes to flexibility, monthly costs, and maintenance, while buying still stands tall when it comes to building long-term wealth and stability. So, bottom line, buying is absolutely the move if you're looking to build wealth and put down real roots. But honestly, in 2025, the math favors renters in a huge chunk of the country, especially the big cities. My take, if you're planning to stick around a more affordable area for, say, 7 years or more, buying could make sense. But if you want flexibility, hate surprise expenses, or you're just chasing the best deal right now, renting is tough to beat. Just location, 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 don't forget how much that matters. Housing market conditions change all the time, so make sure you compare the rent versus buy math for your specific city before making any big decisions.